everybody, and welcome back to Value Chain Minutes. And in these sessions, we've been talking with Shane Hellsten about attribute-based planning, and we've talked about prerequisites, we've talked about personas, we've talked about industry needs, and some of the requirements that this particular solution can bring to the companies. What I'd like to talk about now is what are some of the value that companies can gain from this type of activity? How can it actually help the teams on the ground? So Shane, if you could explain some of that, that would be great.
Certainly. So that's a great question. Thank you. So it really helps the board across the board in a lot of different ways, but enables a lot of the benefits around make-to-order style manufacturing, as basically it's an upfront concept that we're bringing forth within supply chain management. So the big benefits of this is minimizing inventory carrying costs, as you're only building what you need, and that's within make to order, which is obviously very different than make to stock, where you stock a lot of items and you're relying on a forecast to get right, and perhaps you have those obsolescence risks. So that's a big thing around reducing risk of unsold inventory, getting hit with obsolescence write-offs. So basically, your company's only producing what you need, you're lowering waste and storage costs, of course. With attribute-based planning on top of that make-to-order style manufacturing, you can basically enable customer or sales order specific planning, which aids in prioritization, tracking, and traceability. For the folks on the shop floor with these specific attributes, so you can actually create things like a custom work order traveler, which follows the manufacturing process around and has those customer names attached to them for things like packaging instructions and shipping instructions, et cetera. Attribute-based planning also provides better management of delivery dates to your customers and the management of materials right all the way through for the satisfaction of priority orders as well, by providing insight into all the steps right through the manufacturing process. And of course, because the framework is really flexible, if there's any type of proprietary things that for your specific business requirements, you can extend it very easily to suit your needs.
That's great. So it sounds like it's incredibly flexible to meet to those very specific needs of a particular customer installation. It supports the various different styles of manufacturing. So you could, and this is a question, you could combine make to stock and then configure to order type of activities as well.
Absolutely. Yep, absolutely. You can basically tell the system where you want that cutoff point. So if you want to hedge some components which are high volume runners that you need to stock some, so you could be reactive on the make to order side, well, you can mix those paradigms, and that allows what I call a manufacturing post-moment strategy I've referred to earlier. And that's a very powerful thing to be able to minimize the amount of inventory that you're carrying holistically, but also maximize from a customer service perspective.
That sounds like very valuable steps and information for everybody. But with all those benefits, right? And we've done this before. Are there any caveats, limitations, and maybe even approaching this from a best practices standpoint? What have we learned that we can pass on to the listener today?
Big thing, like any advanced feature, of course, there's implementation and maintenance costs. But the big thing is all about clean data. So a supply chain planning project always forces you to keep good quality, clean data if you want good results. And that really, even if you're not using attribute-based planning and you want a good quality supply plan, you need quality data to make any supply planning project work well, and you need to stay on top of it and keep it clean. Potentially, if you're doing make to order, you may have a little bit more work orders on the shop floor to manage in the system, but that's the nature of the attribute-based planning implementation.
Well, that's been very helpful. So we've talked about attribute-based planning all the way from what are the concepts to the prerequisites, who's using it, and what are the benefits and limitations or best practices. Thank you very much, Shane, for the time, and we look forward to everybody in the next sessions of Value Chain Minutes.